Everyone, this is my watch list for Thursday, July 2nd. All right, so what happened yesterday? Market simply held demand, that 743 that Brett and I talked about yesterday morning on pre-market. We held 743 and made the move higher into that 749. Now, the question is, look at this trend line I drew. Do we fail here and move back into the 720s, or do we reclaim this trend line and push into new all-time highs? Okay? And the level for me for that to happen is 750. All right. If we reclaim 750, we'll break out of this trend. We'll break this big hourly pivot from the 22nd. And I believe the market can push all the way back into 760, right? Which was the previous all-time high from June 2nd. But that only happens if we reclaim this trend and we break above 750. If we don't, if we fail, let's say we get back below 743, which was a big level from yesterday, and we get back below 740, then the market can see continued downside, okay? Those are the levels I'll be watching today. It's 743. That was our pivot from yesterday where we held and bounced. It was the pivot from the day before. And it's 740, okay? If we get below 743, I like shorts into 740. If we get below 740, I really like shorts all the way back down to 732. Okay? QQQ, same kind of thing, right? We have been making lower highs on the daily or on the hourly, whatever, every time frame, right? We've been making lower highs, and the market has yet to push and reclaim a new all-time high. Qs are a bit weaker, right? We got to that 735, which was the gap fill level, and failed, big reject. We even lost the 728, which was a big level I had yesterday. And now pre-market, we're bouncing off of 720. So 720 is my big level on the Qs. Bounced here, wicks here, wick back here, wicks over here, right? If we lose 720 today, this has room all the way back down to 705, all right? So this is actually something I'll be watching. Do the Qs lose 720? I will take shorts with the price target in mind of 705, okay? Now, let's look at some individuals. Apple wicked off the 294 yesterday, sold a little bit, and then completely reclaimed, okay? This is no longer a short for me as long as we are above 294. If we get back below 294, this can turn into a short again. AMD initially bounced off the 550 that Brett and I talked about, but then it wound up selling in the afternoon, and now it's gapping down. It's just in the middle of this range. I have no interest in trading this name. It's in the middle of this hourly range. From here, you'd have to reclaim 550 for longs or below 500 for shorts. Amazon, not doing much these days. Very, very boring chart on Amazon, right? Meta, very, very strong yesterday. 8.8% upside, right? 624 is a level I have marked. This was a previous level from back here in May. If we get over 624, this is a long, or you could also look for potential dip buys either into 600 or really my big level is 580 on Meta. Netflix, we caught this swing, right? These arrows are where I got in, and then I added, and it ripped all the way to 76. We took profit, and then it failed back again yesterday. Probably could have re-entered that swing as long as, this is a long as long as we're above 70. And now it's building quite a bit. So up 4% yesterday, up another 1.3% pre-market. I actually like this reclaim of 76. Look at this level. This was the high from Monday, and also this wick back here from the 18th. We get above 76, this should push into 78. 78 goes to 80. So PLTR, this one kind of annoyed me yesterday. This was a very, very big previous demand. I really thought we were going to see some sort of reaction off that level. And the first trade I stopped out of, I re-entered it and actually made 20%, but then it just completely reclaimed and ripped and squeezed, right? So if this chart is above 125, it's a long. But if we get back below 125, it's a short. And everyone who got squeezed yesterday is going to slam this if it gets back below 125. All right, this is going to turn into an aggressive short if we fail that level again. All right, that's a very, very big level. I am always going to take trades if it hits my level, regardless, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with trying. There's nothing wrong with attempting a trade if it's within your setup, right? You just have to follow your risk. You guys didn't see me like averaging down and adding at 126 and 127 and 128 and hoping that it would eventually reverse. No, I got in here. We got stopped on the first one, and then I re-entered, and we made some money back, right? After that, though, I left it alone because it started squeezing. I didn't try to keep shorting it, right? That's real trading, okay? You don't want to be like these clowns who start shorting here, and then they just short all day, hoping that it eventually will reverse. Yeah, don't do that. Follow your system. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't, right? Most of the time it works, sometimes it doesn't. NVIDIA. I really like this for one side or the other, okay? Either above this 199, we call it 200 if you want. This is a long. If we get below 192, it's a short, okay? But I feel like this is going to make a big move soon. One side or the other, I'm not really sure yet. It's been weak. I talked about the 199 reject yesterday that happened late in the afternoon. All right, if we get back above this level, this turns into an aggressive long. If it gets below 192, it turns into an aggressive short, okay? Tesla, one of the strongest names. I took this long on Tuesday. Very nice trade. This is still a long for me. As long as we're above this like 413, 415 area, this is still a long. And we could even look for bounces there, all right? If that happens today, if we get back into 415, 413, we can look for a bounce on Tesla, all right? So that's my watch for today, Thursday. Markets close tomorrow. I'll see you guys on live.